It was a busy Friday night at a packed rooftop bar. The city glimmered beneath us. Music thumped through the air, and bursts of laughter floated from every direction. Mia, my girlfriend, was in an unusually playful mood, surrounded by friends, sipping cocktails, tossing jokes around like confetti. I'd been watching her quietly all evening, carrying this unspoken heaviness I couldn't identify yet. Then, in the middle of a light-hearted chat about old relationships, she chuckled, waved her hand, and said casually, "Honestly, I don't even care about him." A simple, throwaway comment, but it hit me like a blow. I lifted an eyebrow, staying composed, assuming it was just her usual teasing. Leia, her best friend, stood beside her, martini in hand, watching me a moment longer than necessary. I noticed something shift, small, subtle, but real. She leaned closer, murmuring something into Mia's ear that I couldn't make out. Mia's laughter stopped. Her eyes snapped wide, and for a second it felt like the entire lounge muted itself. The music faded to a dull hum. Her once easy smile froze, turning stiff with disbelief. She edged back slightly, as if needing space, but Leia's gaze stayed locked, calm and unwavering. People around them could sense something was off, even if they didn't know why. My pulse picked up. Whatever Leia whispered had clearly changed the energy. Mia stuttered, "Well, what do you mean?" But Leia kept speaking softly. Mia's eyes darted around, searching desperately for someone to anchor her. But the shock etched on her face said everything. She hadn't expected this. Not at all. I could see the panic creeping in, that moment when carefree confidence crashes into an unavoidable truth. I leaned closer under the pretense of checking my phone, hoping to catch a word or two. It was clear Leia had exposed something Mia never wanted brought up here, of all places. Suddenly that harmless joke she'd made turned into something sharp and painful. Her fingers trembled around her glass as she tried to laugh, but the humor was gone. People nearby began picking up the tension. Quiet whispers, curious glances. Mia's playful, bold attitude faded instantly, replaced by a flicker of fear. Leia had reminded her of something she'd buried, something that could unravel her entire act in seconds. Her joke had blown up spectacularly. Mia's thoughts were spinning. For a split second her eyes met mine, maybe looking for reassurance. But I stayed silent, watching the scene play out. Leia didn't raise her voice or ridicule her. She just delivered each word calmly, letting the weight fall naturally. And it fell hard. Mia's laughter vanished. Her carefree confidence evaporated. I saw her pulse race, her jaw clench. She opened her mouth, closed it, then tried to cover her panic with a thin laugh. "Oh, how very funny, Leia." But nothing about it was funny now. The lounge felt smaller, the lights harsher, the music too loud. Everything seemed to spotlight her discomfort. Leia's expression didn't waver. She simply repeated her quiet points, making sure Mia absorbed every word. Color drained from Mia's face as the truth clicked into place. The secret she thought she could shrug off with a joke now stood naked in front of everyone. Her posture betrayed her. She was stuck, caught in the harsh glow of her own mistake. Nearby guests whispered. A few even glanced at me, trying to piece together what had triggered the sudden tension. I remained calm, feeling a faint, guilty satisfaction as the joke circled back at her. Her attempt to control the moment had collapsed completely. What started as playful teasing had turned into a brutal dose of reality. Mia's hands quivered as she tried to gather herself. But Leia stayed steady, not cruel, just firm, honest. Every subtle gesture reminded Mia of how badly she had misjudged the moment. Her teasing had exposed her weakest point. Her panic grew. She scanned the room, searching for someone to rally behind her, but the truth had already settled like a spotlight. Friends who had been laughing minutes earlier were now staring, stunned. Leia's quiet whisper had cracked the facade wide open. It was the kind of power that doesn't need volume, just precision. I finally spoke, my voice calm and even, letting the silence stretch before my words landed. Guess some jokes come with consequences. Mia's head snapped toward me, eyes wide with fear. And in that instant, I understood how vulnerable she really was. The entire room felt the shift. What she had brushed off seconds earlier had become the moment everyone would remember. Leia's whisper had frozen her, not out of malice, but out of truth. And truth carries a weight no joke can compete with. Mia tried again to laugh it off, but the spell was broken. Everyone around us felt that sudden drop from carefree fun to raw, exposed reality. The joke was dead. Reality stood in its place. By the end of the night, every trace of Mia's confidence had crumbled. I watched her replay the scene in her mind, a mix of embarrassment and disbelief washing over her. One quiet whisper had undone her entire facade, showed her the force of truth, and left her standing frozen in a way she'd never forget. Sometimes the softest words shake the hardest walls. And that night, her own joke unleashed a storm she couldn't outrun.